China's auto industry is highly competitive, and the pressure within some car companies is becoming more evident. Recently, Chery Automobile has been accused of forcing employees to work overtime, sparking a heated discussion online. According to Jiemian News, a netizen claiming to be a Chery employee revealed that the company forces employees to work more than 20 hours of overtime each week without proper compensation, offering only a daily meal allowance of 10 yuan. Additionally, employees' overtime leave is strictly limited, with some departments even banning time off and using overtime hours as a basis for dismissals. The report noted that what upsets employees the most was that Chery had disabled the function to modify clock-in records, showing default working hours from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m., which ignited the discontent among employees. An employee at Chery's headquarters in Wuhu disclosed that the internal clock-in system was altered last week. In their department, the actual working hours each month are at least 1.4 times the contracted hours. Chery's work system, known as 896, means working 6 days a week from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., with mandatory overtime on Saturdays and no guaranteed rest on Sundays. Employees are required to stay at their desks even if their work is done to accumulate overtime hours. A recent graduate who joined Chery in 2023 revealed that the company is experiencing severe talent loss, with nearly 70% of new graduates leaving within a year. Those who remain plan to gain 2 years' experience before seeking new job opportunities. This graduate reported working nearly 300 hours in May, including 120 hours of overtime and 174 hours of regular work, earning about 4,800 yuan, or $660. This means his hourly wage was just 16 yuan. As the news spread, netizens commented, "No wonder Chery's car quality is poor. With employees overworked and exhausted, how can they work calmly and avoid mistakes? 4,800 yuan is the pay for a cleaner at car factory. I work in a Japanese company. We volunteer for overtime during peak seasons and get 1.5 times pay for extra hours and double pay on weekends. We also have proper rest during off seasons. Why has technological progress made life harder? We might as well return to a simpler rural life."
Is it only Chery that's like this? Aren't all domestic companies like this? You say Foxconn has long hours and tiring work, but at least you get something out of it. Some people can earn over 10,000 yuan a month, but at Chery, you work 20 hours of unpaid overtime, and your take-home pay is still just 4,800 yuan. Plus, you can't leave even after finishing your work. Sometimes I really don't understand our people. Others are already stepping all over you, and you still don't leave. This only proves you still have room to be exploited. This kind of overworking is pointless. Maybe I just don't have that kind of dedication. If I were forced to work unpaid overtime, sorry, but I might start slacking off in my regular work too. So don't buy Chery. Let their employees get some rest.
The man pointed out that many companies in China have long working hours and unpaid overtime. While Foxconn has long hours, employees are compensated accordingly. He believes that some employees in China seem to lack awareness of their rights. Even when exploited, they are unwilling to leave, which means the potential for further exploitation remains. In response, Secretary General of the China-EU Association for Intelligent Connected Vehicles stated that overtime can diminish employees' creativity and suppress spending in society. When car factories become sweatshops, it can also affect future talent recruitment. The industry should compete within the bounds of quality and legal standards without excessive cost-cutting, as this could affect a company's longevity. Back in March 2023, Chery Automobile's chief engineer, Gao Xinhua, sent an internal email declaring, "Notice to all employees, Saturdays are for those who strive." This email quickly sparked widespread discussion and was criticized as moral coercion. Chery is currently in the midst of transitioning to new energy vehicles, eager to keep pace with its competitors. Reports indicate that in 2023, Chery's annual sales reached 1.88 million vehicles, setting a record. However, wholesale sales of new energy vehicles were only 128,000, less than one-tenth of the total. In contrast, Chang'an and Geely each sold over 450,000 new energy vehicles. The topic of intense competition in the auto industry has frequently drawn public attention this year. Previously, the 996 work system reported at the Chinese electric vehicle battery manufacturer CATL also became a trending topic on Weibo. According to a report by CLS, on June 17th, CATL issued a call for 100 days of hard work, requiring employees to work 6 days a week from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m., implementing the 996 work system internally. On June 25th, at the Summer Davos Forum, CATL founder Zheng Yuchun responded, 100 days of hard work means calling everyone to master basic skills. We do not force anyone. In fact, overtime has long been a norm in Chinese car companies. According to mainland media, searching for well-known car companies like BYD, Great Wall, NIO, Li Auto, and XPeng on the workforce social media platform MaiMai reveals numerous complaints from certified employees about excessive overtime. These netizens, who hold various positions, include current employees admitting to long hours and former employees sharing their experiences of severe overtime without additional pay. Industry insiders note that overtime and its frequency depend on the position, department, leadership style, work pace within the team, and industry cycles. Guest professor at Yellow River University of Science and Technology, Zhang Xiang, stated that overtime is now a normal phenomenon in car companies. Not working overtime could delay product development, increase production costs, and put the company at a disadvantage. As relatively weaker parties, most employees choose to silently endure. Director at Minghua Youdao Consulting, Feng Shiming, stated that while the auto industry has always had overtime, it has never been as extreme as it is now. Overtime itself isn't the issue, but unlimited, ineffective, and unpaid overtime has become a major public concern and a hallmark of excessive competition. Why is Chery being singled out for criticism if this situation is widespread? According to a verified Chery employee on MaiMai, it's because other car companies pay higher salaries. The employee mentioned, some R&D staff at Chery get only 4,000 to 5,000 yuan and are required to work 996 hours and face a humiliating culture. Who wouldn't explode under such conditions? Regarding salaries, the whistleblower who exposed Chery's forced overtime also mentioned that Chery's pay is so low that even if companies like NIO, XPeng, and Geely cut their salaries in half, they would still be higher than Chery's. This year, mass layoffs in major car companies have also attracted widespread attention. Traditional joint ventures and new car-making forces, including Tesla, have not been spared. According to foreign media reports, as of June 17th, Tesla's general email list had 121,000 employees, compared to 140,000 at the end of last December. This marks a 14% reduction. In April, Tesla CEO Elon Musk announced layoffs of more than 10%, the highest known in the car industry. Other companies like GAC Group are also laying off employees. In June, GAC Honda sought voluntary resignations among production staff, with about 1,700 employees participating, accounting for 14% of the joint venture's total workforce. From January to April this year, GAC Honda sales were 141,600 units, down 19% year-on-year. Volkswagen Group also announced a new performance project called KI-10 on May 30th, aiming at reducing fixed and personnel costs by 20% over 3 years. The document, released by Volkswagen Group China chairman and CEO Ralph Brandstatter and others, indicated that China's fierce market environment has added extra financial pressure, necessitating a more efficient organization to achieve a 20% reduction in indirect personnel costs. In June, Li Auto also conducted layoffs, with an overall layoff rate of over 18%. According to its 2023 financial report, Li Auto had nearly 31,600 employees, up 63% year-on-year. This layoff affected more than 5,600 employees. Previously, Chinese media reported that over 13 car brands had announced layoff plans. If we include the auto parts supply chain, the list of companies implementing layoffs would be even longer. Interestingly, GAC Honda implemented a compensation plan called N+2 plus 1.8. The N+2 represents the standard compensation, with an additional 1.8 months bonus on top. Depending on the employee's position and level, further compensation is provided. This layoff condition is even more generous than the Tesla's N+3 plan, attracting many employees to voluntarily participate, resulting in a high demand for the limited layoff slots. Additionally, on June 21st, Asahi Shimbun reported that Nissan announced the closure of its passenger car factory in Changzhou, Jiangsu. Nissan decided to cut its production capacity in China by about 10%. Data shows that Nissan's total production in China is 1.6 million vehicles, with the Changzhou plant accounting for 8%. In terms of sales, Nissan has seen a year-on-year decline for 5 consecutive years in China. A Nissan spokesperson stated, "This is to optimize production." Internal sources revealed that after the plant's closure, most laid-off workers would receive at least N+1 compensation, although some senior staff would be transferred to other locations or resign. The competition among Chinese car companies is not only evident in overtime and layoffs, but also in pricing. According to TMT Post, more than 10 car companies have announced official price cuts or discount policies this year, mostly for popular models. The Passenger Car Association reports that in the first 4 months of this year alone, 136 passenger cars joined the price reduction list, compared to 139 for the entire year of 2023. China has over 200 electric vehicle manufacturers, all facing significant overcapacity issues, with most of them suffering annual losses. In 2023, only 3 electric vehicle manufacturers in China were profitable: Tesla, BYD, and Li Auto. In April, Tesla, Li Auto, and many other car companies started a new unprecedented round of price cuts. Earlier in February, BYD significantly reduced the price of its top models. Plus Glory Edition plug-in hybrid was cut to 79,800 yuan, a decrease of 20,000 yuan. One of the competitors to the Qin Plus is Nissan's main sedan, the Sylphy, which has a starting price of 100,000 yuan. To save its plummeting sales, Nissan also announced price cuts in April, reducing the starting price of the Sylphy to 69,800 yuan. At the 2024 China Automotive Chongqing Forum, Li Shufu, founder and chairman of China's largest private car manufacturer Geely Auto, criticized the intense competition in China's auto industry, calling it the most severe globally and describing the price wars as increasingly intense. He believes that endless internal competition and crude price wars leads to corner-cutting, counterfeiting, and chaotic competition, which are detrimental to the healthy development of the industry. Li emphasized that any industry's healthy development requires good economic efficiency regarding input-output ratios. Today's Chinese auto industry is not lacking in manufacturing, but lacks an innovative automotive parts ecosystem and original automotive safety technology companies. Although the development of smart electric vehicles is a significant opportunity for upgrading China's automotive supply chain, it also faces many challenges. Li stated that such intense competition could be positive if the market is highly developed, with sound laws, strict enforcement, and fair and transparent competition. Otherwise, it is detrimental. Taiwanese financial expert noted that the prerequisites Li Shufu mentioned do not exist in China. He said, "The high level of marketization, sound laws, strict enforcement, and transparent and fair competition do not describe the current Chinese market. In China, laws clearly favor domestic and state-owned enterprises, and transparent and fair competition is absent. Foreign companies often complain about facing unfair competition." Huang added, "In the Western world, if a car company is unprofitable, it would soon go bankrupt and stop production. Market mechanisms would naturally suppress the growth of new cars. However, in China, even if sales are poor, production increases. The difference in economic development perspectives between China and overseas leads to such results." Secretary General of the China Passenger Car Market Information Association, Cui Dongshu, recently wrote that the price war in 2024 is fierce. In the first 5 months alone, the scale of passenger car price reductions has surpassed 90% of the total for 2023 and the entire scale of 2022. The primary affected models are pure electric and hybrid models, leading to widespread losses among new energy vehicle manufacturers, with only a few companies remaining profitable. Additionally, Chinese electric cars face sales challenges overseas. General Manager of Druilan Auto Overseas Business Division, Deng Xiaodan, revealed at a forum on June 7th that during a visit to Europe in May, he observed a severe backlog of Chinese electric vehicles at major European ports. This is likely due to trade protection measures introduced by European and American countries, increasing the export risks for Chinese electric cars. Professors from the Aiken School of Business at the University of South Carolina said, "The Chinese government will not acknowledge overcapacity or shut down these electric vehicle companies. They're still trying to capture markets in South America, Southeast Asia, and Africa, although the reliability and safety of these Chinese cars have some issues."